Are you ready to be great? Stop letting self-doubt, insecurity, and fear prevent you from building your business. This morning, wake up to success. Here's John Preston.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on Wake Up to Success. Today, we're going to continue our look at some sales tips to help you get more comfortable with the selling process. We spend a lot of time on this show talking about how to get your head right and to really position yourself emotionally and mentally for success and how to achieve that success you want. Well, part of that process is always going to be selling. Anything you do that you want to build into a more successful business, a more successful career, more financial freedom, those kinds of things always involve selling. Now, maybe you're not selling your product or services, but maybe you're selling investors on your idea. Or maybe you're selling people and participating and getting on board with your vision of success. Whatever it is, you do have to understand that selling is important. Now, for these lessons, we're focusing on the actual product or service that you're trying to sell. And I'm also working under the assumption that you have a good product or service to sell. The tips we talk about are not for somebody who's selling junk, who's trying to swindle the buyers. These are tips for people who legitimately believe that their product or service can help the customer and get frustrated when the customer doesn't see that. And so yesterday we talked about how to understand that just because the customer doesn't immediately say yes, doesn't mean they don't like the product. Today, we're going to look at the cycle itself. When you start out with a presentation about your product, the first phase of this presentation involves you being an educator. You need to educate them about your product and educate them on those things that separate your product from the competitor and those things that are the reasons why you believe this is good for their business or their person. So the first part is educating. This is when you talk about the product, you talk about the advantages, you talk about why you do this with the product, why the product does that, and you convince them that the product is a good product that can help their business. Now, unfortunately, the sales process doesn't stop there. The second part, you have to change your tone. You're no longer an educator. You become a counselor. Now, to understand this, you need to recognize that insecurity is like the driving force in almost everything we do. You know you have that inner voice that actually talks you out of opportunities, that sits on your shoulder and says, do you really know enough about that to do that? Or you suck at this, or you're not going to be around for long. And, all these things come into play. Well, just like that inner voice talks in your head, the customer you're dealing with has a same inner voice that's talking in theirs. And often it goes something like this. What do you know about this? I'm sure you like that product, but is it really good? How are you qualified to make a decision? That inner voice is taking part in the mind of the customer. So what you have to do in this second phase of the selling process is make them feel comfortable with their decision. Make them confident enough in their ability to make a good decision that they will make a good decision. As we mentioned yesterday, people will often kick that decision down the road if you let them. So in this particular case, they've already expressed that they like your product and they believe your product is a good one that could help their business. You do that at the end of the first phase. And in this phase, you have to make them feel confident. So how do you do that? You want to use language that is comfortable. Use the word comfortable. My job now is I can see you like this product. So my job now is to make sure that you're comfortable with this purchase, that this is a purchase that you can live with and that you understand it's a good investment in your business or your personal life. So by softening your voice, being empathetic to the challenges they're facing, you can move forward. And your ultimate goal, sell them in the educational process and then just help them be comfortable along the way. What is it about this that you're not comfortable with? Get them to discuss the things that are making them uncomfortable and understanding it is a lot of self-doubt that you're having to help them overcome. Even the best business owner, the strongest personality you encounter, they are still dealing with those kind of insecurities. And if you recognize that and you help them talk through the decision process and also give them plenty of blank space and quiet time to think for themselves, you'll find that the answer will be yes much more often.